The road network in St. Philip scrutinized. The Minister of Culture apologizes for some remarks he made regarding layoffs. And CARICOM countries being encouraged to pay in their contributions to the CARICOM Development Fund.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you with the Tuesday, November 13th edition of the CBC Evening News. I'm Ryan Broom in our top story. Residents in the east of the country got their chance to show their representatives and ministers in the Ministry of Transport, Works and Maintenance exactly which roads in the constituencies need urgent attention. Continuing their sweep of the country, Ministers Dr. William Duguid and Peter Phillips teamed up with members of Parliament for St. Philip West and North, John King and Sonia Brown, to tour the parts of that parish that most need attention. Some of the areas visited were Cottage Vale, Hampton Road, Edgecombe and Burton. Minister Duguid says walking through to see the state of the roads for themselves is critical.
When you can actually put a human face to statistics or something on a paper, big difference. So it definitely brings it home, and not only brings home the quality or the state of disrepair, but also the width of the roads. Because we also saw a lot of roads that really should be 16 feet, and because of the deterioration, they've dropped down to 10 feet, 12 feet, which means only one car can pass at a time. So we have to look not only at repairing the surfaces, but also widening back out the roads so that two cars can pass at a time.
And St. Philip West Representative John King says he's appalled that some of the roads in his constituency haven't changed since he was a child.
It's important at this juncture, not only for me as a politician, but for the country as a whole, that things that have been left unattended for years, that we come in and start to do the work that is necessary to give people some sort of comfort, to let people know that we are here to do the work of the people. And so this is a classic example of our commitment.
And Minister in the Ministry of Transport, Works and Maintenance, Peter Phillips, says the road infrastructure of Barbados must be a priority.
Without proper roads, people cannot get about their business as they would normally like to in a fashion really, because it retards your progress. It retards your progress in terms of the speed with which you get from point A to point B. And so we are here this morning. We will be continuing, as Minister Duguid said, to other constituencies. We will be following the St. Philip constituencies. At our next available opportunity, we will be touring the St. James constituencies to see what is happening there. So it is all part of the plan of the Ministry of Transport, Works and Maintenance, so that we can sit down with our technical people and then begin to prioritize how we approach this mammoth task that we have in fixing the road infrastructure across Barbados.
I am sorry. Minister of the Creative Economy, Culture and Sports, John King, has apologized to Barbadians after comments he made saying they are wasting time talking about layoffs when there were more important matters to speak about. The comments made at the Barbados Museum a few days ago were met by a social media onslaught over the weekend, with many Barbadians deeming them insensitive. In an exclusive interview with CBC's Shane Jones, Mr. King sought to clarify those comments.
The simple message that I'm trying to get people in this country to understand is that we will get past this. We are resilient people. And I think I said that in that interview. We are resilient. We have been through all sorts of things in the past. And if you ask anybody and they really want to be truthful about themselves, the majority of people in Barbados have grown up through hardships. I myself, you, others, we've all gone through it. But what I'm saying to our people is, do not let what is happening now be the thing that defines you. Don't let that be the thing that stops you from continuing to try and to believe and to have hope and to have confidence in ourselves as a people. This ain't about political parties. This ain't about who you like and who you don't like. This is just about human beings. And if people understand that part of the message, then the other part that they're deemed to be uncaring and all of those other comments that I read and saw myself, they will put that aside. I understand fully well nobody wants anybody to go home or anybody to get laid off. I've been through it myself. As an artist, think about it. Who more than me would know what it means not to be working, not to have money in your pocket? But look at where I am today. And I'm saying to others, if I can do it, anybody else in Barbados can do it. You just have to believe and understand that life is a cycle. You have ups and you have downs. How you deal with the downs is what is going to determine you. Not when you're up and high flying. When you're up and high flying, you don't have a care in the world. It is when you are down. That is when you show the true measure of a man or woman. And I'm saying to everyone who, as the Bible says, all who have ears to hear, let them hear.
So finally, just one more question. So as someone who's been through hardships himself, so for some people that may have interpreted as being insensitive and are asking for an apology, what would you say?
I would simply say, if you feel that it was insensitive, I apologize. I have no problem apologizing. I mean, that's life. That's part of life. But I stand by my principle, though, that we can get through this.
Culture Minister John King is telling Barbadians to get ready for great things from the National Cultural Foundation. Veteran broadcaster Carol Roberts started her new job as CEO of the foundation yesterday, and Minister King says he's excited about the future.
Hold on to your hats, because this is going to be fantastic. I am so excited, so elated, and so charged for what is going to be happening in culture now that I have someone like Miss Roberts at the helm. And like most other things, it is a time for renewal, and it is a time for putting Barbados bigger and better on the map.
In other news now, police are encouraging business owners to be more vigilant. It comes on the heels of several armed robberies recently. In the last few days alone, gunmen robbed Zephyr's bakeries, while thieves broke into Colombian Emeralds at Cave Shepherd in Holetown. Now, Acting Public Relations Officer, Acting Station Sergeant Michael Blackman, says above all, owners and employees should be observant.
Employees and employers should be alert at all times. You should look out for suspicious persons or vehicles around your businesses, especially at the opening and closing times. Persons wearing inappropriate clothing for the weather, such as heavy coats, hoodies, dark shades, scarves around their faces and neck. Other things you should consider: look at installing video cameras or alarm systems. And where you already have such equipment installed, try testing it at this time to ensure that it's in good working order.
Dental health care among teenagers has gotten progressively worse over the years. This is according to Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, who says studies conducted between 1995 and 2011 have shown that deterioration. The minister is also concerned that secondary school students are not given the same type of dental care as children in primary schools. Now, he was speaking during a press conference to announce a partnership with the Massey Foundation that will see a new dental health promotion intervention across 22 secondary schools.
This program has been designed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and will be conducted among third form students attending all government secondary schools. The intervention will involve oral health education, rapid screening, and the provision of oral hygiene kits. The program will be conducted by the staff of the Government Dental Service over a period of 2 school terms.
Now, as part of the program, Director of the Massey Foundation, Lennox Prescott, donated models, dental kits, and other items to Minister Bostic. Mr. Prescott explains that the foundation chose to focus on dental care because of its potential impact on a child's overall health.
Taking care of one's mouth, teeth, and gums may protect you against certain medical conditions, while a neglect in this area, especially if gum disease is present, may increase your risk of serious health problems such as heart attack, stroke, and diabetes. It is this foregoing context that has caused us to give some attention to this aspect of health, as it has the potential to result in lifelong health issues, far beyond oral infections and diseases.
The The Barbados Elderly Care Association has added 35 more workers to its professional complement. 12 new auxiliary nurses and 23 basic cooks were presented with their official certificates yesterday at their graduation ceremony. The association represents nursing and senior citizens' homes across the island. And because of Barbados's growing elderly population, there has been a need for more trained caregivers. President Maureen Ward encouraged people who were curious about getting involved not to be daunted by the certificate course.
Persons would say the course is too hard and they can't work and study, and they're not given study time by their boss, or they have small children and no one to take care of them, and there are also financial reasons. So there are many reasons why persons don't complete the course. And it's not that the course is that hard, because any course you go to do is hard at first, but you have to apply yourself. And I've had persons who have done the course and are now registered nurses. They've gone on and did the nursing assistant, and they've gone on and done the registered nurse course.
Now, the theme of the ceremony was keeping up with the needs of our seniors. And featured speaker, registered nurse Sandra Vaughan, said apart from the main priorities, the simple ones are also important.
The seniors talk about around the house and the garden, cleaning generally, vacuuming, laundry, like minor household tasks. For example, replacing a light bulb. Do you know how important that is to the senior? And yet, they can't climb that ladder and reach it. Who's going to be there to do that? Talk about tacking down unruly carpets and other floor coverings and the little odd jobs. Putting out the garbage and avoiding the maggots.
Healthcare professionals got the opportunity to increase their knowledge base yesterday when the Queen Elizabeth Hospital hosted a symposium on a number of health-related topics. One of the topics at the forefront was diabetes, and President of the Diabetes Association of Barbados, Trudy Griffith, says the symposium was especially planned for this month.
The concept behind this was that the middle of November tends to be a time where we observe a number of health observances across the world. Diabetes for World Diabetes Day, November 14th also being the hospital's anniversary. But today also starts World Antibiotic Awareness Week. One of the things we need to be concerned in Barbados is antimicrobial resistance, where organisms are developing resistance to the antibiotics that we currently have. And if we don't take care with the antibiotics we have, we will soon run into a time where we don't have any antibiotics to use. So we really want to highlight what we need to do now so that we delay that or prevent it from happening.
Being a prefect is not a prize. This message was passed on by head of the Archives Department at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, Sherwood McCaskey, as the new prefects of the Charles F. Broome Primary School received their badges and took their oaths. It was a momentous occasion as parents were invited to join in the ceremony. The new prefects are led by head girl Zaria Hinton and Deputy Shia Griffith, along with head boy Josiah Lane and Deputy Jaden Agard Seeley. Mr. McCaskey encouraged the students to take pride in their new role and maintain the tradition of excellence that befits Charles F. Broome.
It is now your responsibility to assist your principal, your teachers, and other members of staff in ensuring that fellow students follow the school's rules and conduct themselves well. It is expected that you will be a role model. Accordingly, you are therefore required to set good examples, especially in your behavior, your dress, and your attitude. Your fellow students will be watching and looking up to you.
And Principal of Charles F. Broome Primary, Dr. Monica Walton, as she congratulated the students, says the school is proud of them. She reminded them of the old saying, to whom much is given, much is expected.
It means that you will continue to set good examples, you will continue to be obedient, and you will continue to respect yourself and others. It means that we believe that you can make a positive difference here at the Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary School of Excellence. I urge you, therefore, to be the best that you can be.
And for head girl Zaria Hinton and head boy Josiah Lane, their selection caught them by surprise.
Emotions are going through and out my head everywhere. I did not expect it to go so fast. I was like, am I head girl or not? Am I head girl or not? And it's just a dream come true, honestly.
I just want to give God thanks because He gave me the opportunity to come and do my best so I could get this badge. Thank my teachers for encouraging me and my parents.
Once a famous pastime for people over 50, line dancing appears to be gaining popularity with a younger crowd. That's what our Sharika Griffith found out during a recent visit to a line dance class.
Barbadians are becoming more and more health conscious. But if you're like me, you're just not a fan of going to the gym. Well, what if I told you there was a way that you could get fit and have fun while doing it? I know what you're thinking. Isn't that the dance the old folks do at Q on Thursday? As a matter of fact, it is. But as the instructor of the St. Clement's Line Dance Group, Judy Cumberbatch, tells us, it's also been attracting a younger crowd.
The age group is from 17 to over 70s.
So tell me about the music. When I think line dancing, I think country music. Is that what it's like here?
No, all type of music. We have oldies, we have calypso, we have all type of music. So we have when we talk about line dancing.
So would you say that's responsible then for the difference in the age group?
No, I won't say so. Once you're a lover of line dancing, you can dance to any tune.
The group, which started back in 2011, meets every Tuesday at the St. Clement's Church Centre in Lowland, St. Lucie. Judy says once you learn the basics, you'll be burning up the dance floor in no time.
It's very hard to memorize the steps. Once you get familiar with the different calls, you will know exactly what to do.
At 16, Michaela Cummins is the youngest member of the group.
It's been a good experience. I learned new dances. It helps with workout. It's like a workout for me on Tuesday nights, and it does help me with my memory, because then if I remember all these steps, I mean, at school I can remember the work, so it helps. There's a lot of benefits.
Louise Armstrong has been with the group since its inception. Line dancing not only gives her a chance to get up and move, but also to mix and mingle.
It is therapeutic, physical exercise, and at the same time you get an opportunity to socialize, because with the church groups, bearing in mind how church is structured, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't get much of an opportunity to talk foolishness sometimes.
Of course, I couldn't leave without talking to the only man in the group. What was your motivation to join the group?
Just I was in church at that time. I said I'm doing it, so I come and see what it's about.
How do you manage being the only man in the room more often than not?
It's all right for me.
Well, after all that talking, there was only one thing left to do. So after a quick tutorial for my benefit, I decided to try a thing. Well, I'll let you be the judge of how that went. That truly was a workout. I'd say that's the best of both worlds. Fun and good exercise. And who knows, maybe I'll try out my new moves at Q in the community on Thursday. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Government minister wants Barbados and other members of the African, Caribbean and Pacific group of states to arrive at a new deal with the European Union. Minister in the Ministry of Foreign Trade, Sandra Husbands, says all members have benefited from the Cotonou Agreement. It seeks to eradicate poverty while contributing to development of member states. But the 20-year agreement is set to expire in just over a year.
This relationship recognized that there are many stakeholders in every process, and each one has a distinct role to play. It is also realized that these stakeholders must be afforded the opportunity to engage and collaborate with each other. In this regard, it is my desire that this is not a one-off activity, but that additional opportunity will be provided for such consultations to be held as the process to arrive at a mutually agreed successor to the Cotonou Partnership Agreement.
Ms. Husbands was speaking during a recent ACP meeting with the private sector on post-Cotonou negotiations. Ambassador of the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Daniela Tramachere, says the world has changed considerably over the past 2 decades. And while the EU hopes to preserve key components of the original agreement, the upcoming negotiations are seen as an opportunity to break from the past.
We are given a tremendous opportunities, we all, to review the core objectives of our partnership and adapt them to the new realities and to recast our relation. This is an occasion to create a more responsive and effective framework. And our objective is to have a fully fledged agreement which would effectively fit and reflect today's changed realities, both in our respective societies and worldwide.
And tonight we start our annual Independence Coast to Coast features, taking a look at some well-known and not so well-known and unique communities around Barbados in the lead-up to Independence Day. We get started tonight with St. Andrew. Our journey to St. Andrew got started at what you can call the hub of the parish. It's known as Belle Plaine, located right here at the intersection of the Ermey-Bourne Highway. Now, if there's one parish in Barbados that always seems to maintain that unmistakable essence of Barbados of bygone days, it's St. Andrew. And if there's one place in St. Andrew that most people can easily recall by name, it's Belle Plaine. Belle Plaine is home to the 4th oldest secondary school in Barbados, the Alleyne School. And it was just about the end of the school day when the Coast to Coast team visited the area. We were fortunate to find George Beckles, who's a former principal of the Alleyne School. He took some time out to reflect on the parish that he also calls home.
The absence of the institutions like the police station and the post office and the court and the playing field, right? So sensor, right? Yeah, these have all gone for some years now. Right? I suppose the whole community has been the poor for lack of these. Right?
And Smokey, who's now in his 30s, says it may have its issues, but there's no other place he would rather live.
As generation and times pass, things change. But St. Andrew's a good place. Honestly, St. Andrew's a good place. They just want a little more focus and point.
Just across the road from Smokey's liming spot is the popular Belle Plaine supermarket, where Carlita Pilgrim has worked for more than 3 decades.
It has changed a lot. You know, in terms of business, sometimes it's a little slow and stuff, but it's okay.
Our next stop in St. Andrew took us to a place called Moore's Bottom, where we found some sights of old Barbados like this pipe right here. And this community is located between Hillaby and Gregg Farm and Turner's Hall. Moore's Bottom has one of the most breathtaking views of the East Coast that you will see from any of the eastern parishes. It's home to very close-knit families like the Watsons and Neblets. Suzette Watson reflected on life in the area.
There was things that we used to do as children that you don't see the children of this generation doing more. Like we would be like at each other neighbors, you know, we'd be congregating on the steps of our neighbors, you know, playing games like picks up and hopscotch and Chinese skip and those other things.
But Suzette also revealed another rather unique side to Moore's Bottom.
You know, further up in the hill, there was a bank named the Sour Dirt Hole. And we used to go up in there as children, you know, eat this sour dirt. People tend to say it was for pregnant people. Sour dirt, yes, it was actually sour.
Wait a minute, sour what? Dirt? So as crazy as it sounded to me at the time, I made up my mind there and then that I had to try it. And try it I did. And yes, it was sour. And strangely enough, slightly sweet, but definitely an acquired taste.
Give me.
And speaking of strange things to eat, Suzette's brother John also had some memories from his childhood in the area.
Like Duchy Gully, where they had the tar hole and that sort of thing. I know much people know the tar hole, but that there.
but I tar what is go down there and eat skim. You just call it skimming the tar. And which you put fat porks in it. You as boys grow up, you know that sort of things. You enjoy the things. They ain't got no. Because they don't, I don't know if you can still see it down there.
Cadbury. But it's not just all about exquisite things to eat in Moore's Bottom. There was still the niggling question of the name of the area. And after getting some help with directions, we found Mr. Moores, 85-year-old Mr. Leslie Moores to be exact.
The area was named after my grandfather, right? I'm not certain, but there's no other way that you could work it out, right? Because he was a prominent man in the area, so I believe that it was named after him.
And on that note, we brought our journeys to Belle Plaine and Moore's Bottom to an end. Two beautiful and close-knit communities in the parish of St. Andrew.